Spring is quickly becoming one of my favorite seasons. So far, I always thought that my favorite season was winter, and it still is. I love winter because it gives you the chance to stop and reflect. There is this kind of quietness in everything around you, and it's your time to sit and wonder over everything that has happened while cherishing everything that you have. Spring, on the other hand, gives you a second chance to restart, to redefine some of the things that might not have worked out in the previous season. Spring brings with it an eternal sense of hope, and you carry it with you for as long as you can. Last week, after a very long period of cloud, rain, and darkness, we finally had sun. And this time, the sun was in its complete bloom, and there were flowers everywhere. The trees were green again, there were cherry blossoms, and the sky was this beautiful, alive blue. And it did something to me. With all the changes that have been going on in my life, with all the unexpected realities that I have been forced to face, spring this time, and perhaps for the very first time in my life, felt like a second chance. I'm starting to appreciate the new beginnings of life, the second seasons, the hopefulness that life is about to make a turn and there just might be something around the corner. And I will be honest, it can be conflicting sometimes. When we have been in a situation that we are so used to, that we have created a habit out of that situation, you don't want to break out of it, and maybe sometimes you don't. And I feel that's okay. Because even if we want to improve ourselves, we want to make the next step right, we will always have at the back of our mind that maybe the step after that will be wrong. And again, that's okay. On one hand, you don't want things to change, you want to retain what was comfortable, what was loving. But on the other hand, time did not stop, did it? Time made the change happen. And whether we want it or not, we have to flow with that change. My life took a very different direction in the last few months, and while I did what I could to preserve everything, in the end I couldn't. I had to let some things go, no matter how much it broke me. And honestly, I'm still holding on to a lot of it. I could never be the kind of person who entirely turns her back towards something that she loves. Everything and everyone I have ever loved form a big part of me, and I always carry them in my heart. My heart gets heavy sometimes, and in those times, I look at people who carry me in their hearts. They make me feel light. My father, my brother, my mother, my friends. They eternally make me feel light. And that's what I'm choosing this time. I'm really choosing to live life from the lens of the people who have really loved me, who have always been there for me, who have been there for me even when I didn't ask them to be. They were simply there, waiting for me to be happy again. And maybe that's what I haven't been doing so long. It's one thing to live your life for yourself, and it's another thing to live your life so selfishly that you forget about the people who actually love you. And once you start looking at your life from those people's perspective, you suddenly realize this new kind of value in your life. There's somebody who depends on you. There's somebody who looks forward to seeing you at the end of the day. There's somebody who wants to grab a drink with you at the end of a very busy day. There's somebody who wants to call you and tell you something exciting. There's somebody who considers you to be a best friend, and there is somebody who admires you so much. I'm trying to look at my life, I'm trying to look at myself through them. And wow, They really make my life worth it. Over the course of the last few years, I have been worried about so many things, about work, about my visa situation, my passport, etc., etc., and it keeps going on. I'm still worried. I still have anxiety, but I'm trying not to let that rule over me. Yes, tomorrow, if I don't get my visa, I will probably not be in the same country anymore. Maybe I'll be in a whole new country then. If my work doesn't turn out fine, I'll be okay. 6 months, 1 year, I'll be jobless, but I'll find something to do with myself. And if a relationship doesn't end well, it's okay. I will learn from it. And I will always love that person for whoever they are and accept them as they are. I wouldn't want to change a thing about them. As much as I accept myself, and I wouldn't want to change a thing about myself. But I will, of course, improve. I'm Bornona, and you can call me Nora, and this is a new beginning. This is the second season that we have all been waiting for. My YouTube channel is not specific about any subject. I talk about things like I did in this video, a bit about my personal life. I shared memories about my father. I shared with you what I cook on a very busy day. And sometimes here and there I show you my face. But I also have a very private life, and I will never share anything about that on this channel. This channel will only include some very sweet little moments, and of course, if I ever find some very interesting place on this earth or somewhere that I have traveled, I would be more than happy to share it here. But people in my private life will remain private, unless of course they want to be on video with me. I will never focus on any children because children do not understand anything about the internet, and I find it highly unfair when kids are brought into YouTube or any other social media platform. I will not do that. Those kids are very precious to me, and I want them to have a very healthy, natural childhood. Nothing related to this channel. And this channel is going to be my year-long project. Whether or not I make it in the end, whether or not I'm successful or I get 1 million followers, I don't care. I'm only making these videos for the love of it. And if you're here, then thank you so much for being a part of this journey. And I hope in some ways I'm a part of your journey too. Thank you once again for being here. Au revoir. Bisous.